What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bonafide XTR 130. I just picked up this kayak from Hammerhead Kayaks maybe 2 weeks ago. I got a little bit of experience behind it. That way I know a little bit more about what I'm talking about today. But we are going to be doing a full walkthrough on this kayak. I'm going to show you all the specs, what the kayak cost, as well as all the features of it. And then we're going to put it in the water. We're going to do a speed, stability, and a maneuverability test. So y'all will see everything about this kayak. Also, when I'm on the water, just keep in mind I am 5'11", 280 pounds. So if you're a big guy out there looking for a kayak, this might be a good one for you. All right, so taking a look at this kayak right now. So the overall length of this kayak is 12.5 feet long. It is 40.5 inch wide, making it one of the largest kayaks out there available to you. Has a 750 pound weight capacity, so you can absolutely load this thing down. It is also meant to be able to put a chair right here for somebody to fish off of, and to also mount a chair right here for people to fish off of. So a lot of places to put people and gear and things like that. And lastly, on the specs, it is a 170 pound rigged weight kayak. So with everything on it as it comes out the factory, it is 170 pounds. Full disclaimer, the things I've added on to this are my dual fish finders right here, black packs in the back, and I got the Newport NK300. So just keep in mind that it is not going to come with the motor, the packs, or the fish finders right there. So starting at the front, we do have a rugged carrying handle right there. Also, it is the first kayak I've seen that has a trailer hook. So if you're hooking it up and you have a boat trailer, you can put your hook right there and winch it up on your trailer. Also up front, we have a trolling motor mount. So you want to put a trolling motor right here. You already got your mounting bracket, so you'll be able to mount everything right there. Directly in front of that, a through hole wiring kit. So you just remove this, allows you to run all your wires through the hole. We also got some Yak Attack mounting slots right here. We got some track mounts up front right here. I plan on putting some flounder lights right there so I can flounder gig off this thing. And then right here, we got our hatch that gives us access to the hole right here. As you can see, it's where I keep all my wires, stuff like that. But that gives me full access through the hole. If I do want to store things, maybe I'm doing a camping trip, something like that, I could slide my tent, sleeping bags, dry bags, things like that on the inside right there. We got our tracks that run right here. And then one of my favorite features about this kayak is that on the inside right here, this is where I got all this storage space. I opted to use this space to store my batteries for my fish finders, things like that. But you can put tackle boxes in here, gear, anything you want. It's a lot of storage right here. The reason I like it is that when all of this is shut and closed, I got this slot under the bottom, so all my electronics are able to breathe, so they're not going to corrode like they would if they were inside right here. If they're inside right here, all that salt that gets on the inside of it is just going to keep evaporating and soaking everything. So having it right here where all that can breathe is going to allow my electronics to last a lot longer. We also got good water channels right here with stripper holes, so if you're taking water over the bow, you're not going to be standing in water, anything like that. It's going to go into the drain holes and out the kayak right there. Once again, we got some more through hole wiring access right here. Big ports, able to get big hands through there, pull wires in just like that. As you can see, I've used that to put my control right there. Then we also got our track mounts that run pretty much the length from here all the way on to the back of the kayak, which allows you to move your seat and adjust it anywhere along that track. We got some really rugged handles here, more Yak Attack mounting. And then moving on towards the back, we have plenty of storage space right here. As you see, I got my black pack right there. And in my black pack is where I store all of my batteries for the kayak. I use the bottom half for my batteries, the top half for all my tackle and gear. But if you wanted to, they have put a slot right here for you to put a full-size battery, strap it in right there, and mount it. So you don't have to waste this space with the black packs, but I'm running two 36 volt 50 amp hour batteries, and I needed more space. So if you just want to run one battery, you can put that right here. And then we also got our plate right here. We can remove that, get access into the hole, and we can pull our wires through. And then moving on to the back, we got some rugged handles here. We're able to pick that up, drag it, and move it around. Real simple. And towards the back, we got our transducer mounts, screws right there. As you can see, I got mine mounted right there. And the last thing we're gonna talk about before we put it in the water is our chair right here. So super comfortable chair. It picks up, lifts you up pretty high off the water. Now, this chair is a swivel chair. I did remove the swivel because it's not something that I really use on a kayak. And as I'm moving around, I want my seat to be stationary. So you can keep the swivel or remove it. I opted to remove it. And then you can adjust your backrest right here on your straps. Just cinch it down, loosen it up, kind of figure out the right position for you. Now, a couple of things I got on the kayak, I do just want to point out that the kayak does not come with. They're upgrades. Obviously, we talked about the fish finders. We got the captain's bar right here and our foot control steering, as well as this bracket. These things are upgrades. Motor on the back, and then on my chair, we got a little tray right here to be able to mount everything on. This does not come with the chair. So pretty much everything else on the kayak that I pointed out are the things that comes with it. We're gonna go ahead, back it in, put it on the water. We're gonna do a speed, maneuver, and a stability test. All right, we got her launched. We are on the water right now. The first thing we're gonna do is a speed test. I'm gonna whip out my phone, put on a speedometer app, and we're gonna see how fast we can get this kayak to go. We got our speedometer down right there. I'm gonna go ahead, kick up the throttle, and we're gonna go full speed. So that's full speed right now. As you can see, we're holding above 6. We're running about 6.5 right there. Now, of course, this is under the power of a motor. You may not want a motor. If you were to paddle this kayak, I have paddled it just to see how it does. And you can do about 2.5 miles per hour under a paddle. I will say, if you're gonna buy this kayak, it is a fishing kayak, and you're gonna want a motor on it. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna wanna paddle around. So if you plan on getting this kayak, plan on putting a motor on it. Like I said, the one I got is the NK300. The NK180 is slightly cheaper, requires less battery. You're gonna be able to get 5.5 miles per hour out of that motor. But the way I got it set up right now, we're pushing 6 miles per hour. Now we are still pushing full speed right here. We're gonna go ahead and check the maneuverability. Using the foot pedals, go ahead and get into a turn. On a dime. Going the other way. Very, very tight turn radius on it. I will say, running full speed right here, it's obviously gonna be a little bit harder to push those pedals down because you got the torque of the motor. So if I want to be able to turn it a lot easier, we just gear down on the throttle, and then it just slides and glides effortlessly right there. All right, so now we're gonna be doing the stability test. Once again, 5'11", 280. I feel like the #1 question I get when it comes to my kayaks is whether or not it is stable, right? And it's important because obviously somebody that is, you know, 5'6", 140 pounds, they're gonna be able to balance, maneuver, walk around a lot easier than somebody that's maybe 6'2", 300. So those are my stats. Like I said, 5'11", 280. We're gonna go ahead and stand up. As you can see right here, not a problem, shifting our weight around, and I can walk on this kayak, walking around just like that. I'm able to get down, get to the back, put my knees down on the seat, no problem, move around right there. Now, this little platform right here was meant to be able to get up on it and cast off of it. So it's kind of like a casting platform. So we are going to attempt, we might end up in the water. This is actually the first time I've gotten up here on the bow of this kayak. Just like that. So, and if I didn't have the fish finders in the way, it'd been a lot easier. I wouldn't have to step over them, right? So, if you have a trolling motor, you decide to go the trolling motor route right there, you would have a little remote lanyard. You'd be able to move yourself around and stand up here and cast off of it. And that may be a route that I go to in the future. Some of the Minn Kotas they got out there are a little bit cheaper setup, and they allow a little bit more control. They don't have the speed. Top speed on those will probably be somewhere around 4 miles per hour. The reason I went with the NK 300 on the back is because I wanted the speed. I wanted to be able to get to where I'm going a lot faster. But yeah, running a trolling motor up front is going to give you spot lock, give you a lot of different smart modes, things like that. And but that's pretty much the stability. No problem up here. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna head back into the launch right here. I'm gonna talk to y'all about all the cost and everything you would need to do to get put in a kayak just like this. All right, so we are probably at the point right now where all y'all are tuning into, and that is to find out how much this full setup costs. So I'm gonna break it down a couple of different ways. One, I'm just gonna talk about the kayak. So this kayak right here is $28.99, so just under $3 grand just for the seat and the kayak the way it is. Now, most of y'all are probably thinking that is a whole lot of money for just a plastic kayak. But when you add on things like the motor right here, which is a tad under 1,500 bucks. So for the motor and the kayak, you're going to be in that for less than 4,500 bucks. Now, with the motor, you have to have a battery. There are a ton of different options out there for lithium 36-volt batteries. And so you're looking at around 500 bucks to get you a 50 amp hour battery. So you're at 5 grand, a little under 5 grand, and you got the motor, the battery, and the full-blown kayak right there. So when you look at that, you gotta look at other kayaks in the space that are the same width, same length, and they have the ability to not be paddled, right? So you want to talk about your Hobie 360s. The Hobie PA 360s are running well over $6,000 now. So this comes in over $1,000 under the cost of a brand new PA 360, and you have a motor on it, right? So you're able to cruise around effortlessly, maneuver, all the things. And in my opinion, you got a better layout. You have a just overall better setup on a kayak. Now that's just my opinion of it. So you look at most pedal drive kayaks that are the same size, that are your top tier kayaks, are going to run you well over 6 grand. So you're getting in a lot cheaper, and you have the motor for the platform. Now the black pack right here, you're talking about $150 setup to add that. Dual fish finders, you're talking about another 2 grand with that, the battery. This right here is, I believe, $45, and I think that tray on the other side is about $45 as well. And then you have your rigging, your steering. All in all, everything the way you see it set up is going to cost you roughly about $7,500 to get in this complete platform with the fish finders, with the trays, with the black pack, with all the batteries. $7,500. You could never do the same thing on a Hobie Pro Angler or basically any of your other bigger kayaks, your Old Town, stuff like that. You're not going to be able to set it up for $7,500 the way that this is set up. So in my opinion, if you're looking to go all out with a full setup, this is definitely the way to go. Now, with that being said, you can pick up all of this at Hammerhead Kayaks in Theodore, Alabama. If you're not located in South Alabama, Pensacola, Mississippi, those areas, Hammerhead does ship everything. So you can get this entire setup just like it is, shipped to your door, no problems and comes with all the warranty, all the things. But yeah, I'll have Hammerhead kayaks linked down in the description, and you'll be able to pick up a setup just like this. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the review. If y'all did, leave me a like, comment with any questions, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see y'all in the next one.